Are you struggling to keep your VR Sense controllers charged? Then this could be the video for you. Everything used in the video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get those gaming products. Make sure you check those out at the end of this video. Hi gamers, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be looking at charging the Sense VR controllers. If you've recently bought the VR2, what you'll find when you get the VR2, you only get one cable to charge these controllers. Now these controllers last between 5 and 6 hours. PS5 has only got 2 USB ports on the back. Now I've got a camera and an external hard drive connected to that. The only other option is the USB on the front. Now because we've only got one cable, 2 controllers, it's going to take a couple of hours to charge each one. Now there is an easy solution and there are a couple of options out there. The one option is the Sony dedicated VR Sense controller charger. This will charge 2 controllers at the same time. There are a couple of pros and a couple of cons with it. So we'll dive in, get it unboxed, have a look, and I'll put a link down below to this one and an alternative. So let's get it unboxed and have a look. Also in the box we get our charging station, we get a separate power connection for these and your adapter depending if you're Australia or the UK. Now also there's 2 adapters in here which we'll have a look at, and these are for your VR Sense controllers. So let's jump in, see how you connect them up and see how good it works. So looking at the VR Sense controller, this is going to go in that USB-C port and just push in and connect up. So theoretically these should just drop on and charge. Now the only problem I think you're going to have with this is if these do disconnect, you're going to have to pull this out like so and then reconnect it with your cable. So do not lose these. So you could potentially lose these over time if you do disconnect them. But for the moment you put those in like so, grab the other one, then pop that one in there like so. So now theoretically these should just drop straight in the dock. These now should potentially charge from these 3 points onto those 3 pins. Right, so these seem to slot in quite neatly. I do find it's a little bit front heavy, but that could just be me. It seems to sit back nice and neat and will sit flat next to your PlayStation. Plug it in and see how good that connection is. Right, so I've had to tip this up so you can see the actual charging light. You can see you've got a little tiny light that flashes on and off to tell you that it's charging. But that's all you physically got, is that little light there on the controller. So I'm assuming when that light goes out that these are fully charged. Then to charge these it takes around 1.5 hours according to the instructions, and that's when the VR Sense is totally flat. So that's not too long to charge these controllers. Now one thing I've noticed about this when you drop it on charge, if you literally drop it in, it might not locate. So make sure when you drop it in that this part here slots in there first and then you've locked it in place. That way then it will start lighting up and it will start charging, because if you just drop it on with the front first, there might be a chance it's not charging. So then you've just got to twist it and make sure it's in place. Right, so if in the UK, this is a £39. Now if in the US, it's $49. And if you're in Australia, it's 80 Australian dollars, which works out a bit more expensive than what it is in the UK. So you are paying a premium. Now for that price, I'd expect a little light on the front to tell you when it's charged, not to rely on these little tiny lights here. It is a nice design. Yes, it's an official Sony one, but I think Sony could have done a better job by at least giving us a red light and a green light so we can at least know when they're fully charged without trying to look to see if this thing's lighting up. And the lights on these aren't that bright either. Pros, it fits in with the VR2 design. Cons, you've got to make sure that's slotted in perfectly to make sure it's fully charging. That might not be an issue for some people, so just make sure you do lock it in place if you buy this one. But I will put links down below to the Sony website of where you can get one of these. And there are a couple of alternatives for the VR2, which I'll put a link down below, and they're not as pricey as the VR2 official Sony one. So make sure you check those out at the end of this video and decide whether you want the official Sony one or whether you want an alternative one. So thanks for watching, happy gaming, and I'll catch you in the next one.